What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? Peace, family. Back again with another writing vlog, and today's topic, I guess, more into the purpose of this vlog, is that I'm not trying to come across as if I've already made it. This is supposed to be tracking the journey, the marathon. The sprints that I achieve, the destinations and victories that I gain. But I would be candid at first because you've probably seen the title and you've probably seen the thumbnail. So you already know why you're here. You're talking about making money with books, turning books into a business. And I would say that this is something that very early on in my career, I kind of resisted. Ironically, thinking that resisting the business end of publications and selling books would somehow achieve me money. And it doesn't. It just don't fucking work that way. It wasn't very long until I began understanding for myself, and this is why I'm still in college as well, that if I was ever going to become an author or own my own business, something of that nature, I had to learn more about financial literacy. I had to learn more about business management. I had to learn hardcore entrepreneurship and marketing. So I want to get this correct, because one was a fraternity. I joined a sales and marketing fraternity, and then I joined CEO Collegiate Entrepreneur Organization. I was in Pi Kappa Alpha. I was in Pike. That wasn't the same thing I'm talking about, but that helped out too. Damn, I can't remember that. Fucking PSC, Pi Sigma Epsilon at Kent State University. There we go. Ooh, nice one, man. That was years ago. I don't remember that shit. That was a while back. I did door-to-door sales for a number of years, two different companies. So I tried it the first time. I loved doing what I was doing, but I hated doing what I was doing in the weather I was doing. And then it started to get cold. You're out there for 8 hours a day, and you can walk as much as you want. Your body temperature ain't beating the wind, man. It happening. If you keep a brisk enough pace, you can probably keep a good sweat going. But if not, then it's cool, bro. The second time around, I basically joined a fucking pyramid scheme. So while I did learn some amazing sales and marketing techniques, I did not get paid despite making money. What does that mean? That means, and I'm going to get into this topic again pretty soon when I discuss Amazon. It means that I made the companies a lot of money, but in retrospect to what I was getting a very small percentage of the overall sale. So I was selling, I'm not going to say the company names, I don't think I did already, so I'm not going to. But they're both great companies, the actual companies, not the... See, this is what happened. I worked for the first company, and it was a legit business. It was a huge business selling windows and doors. You probably already know what it is or have a good idea of what it would have been already, going door to door selling windows and glass sliding doors. And that was legit, had a great training program. The second business that I joined, this is years after the fact, fucking pyramid scheme. It was designed to sell products, but it was basically just a bunch of kids learning how to be sociopaths and sell products down people's fucking throats and shit. And getting to see both sides, I guess the light side of sales and the dark, corrupt side of sales that abuses the customers and the employees. Selling something at a high quality price that is high quality is excellent. Selling people the exact same product at a higher price when they don't want it and you force them to get it is not business. It's coercion. It's extortion, actually. It's illegal. It's basically what the fucking mafia did to people. Is walking in and going like, hey, you got a great book there. It'd be a shame if you didn't make any fucking money off of it. And you can go for years like that. Fortunately, I've never had a year that I did not make money. I've had 1 year I did not make money. I had 1 year, 2018, albeit I was not focusing on books at all. So I also got to see the comparison there too, like not putting any time into books whatsoever, getting zero net reward, putting a lot of time into books, getting a great like response, and then putting in a lot of time and effort but doing the wrong things, getting a shitty result, and then doing the right things shittily, and then actually getting a better result than working your ass off doing the wrong thing. So I've gotten to spend a lot of money doing this. Probably not as much as other people, thank God. Hopefully, fingers crossed, I don't know. How much money have I invested overall? Because I put limits on myself now with this, because if the shit don't make money, I'm no longer putting any fucking money into it. I'm at the reinvestment stage that if you make something, I can put it back into you, you know. But if it's not selling, it's not fucking catching my attention for the moment. I will come back to my books eventually that are not getting the response that I would like for them to get. But for the time being, it's a lot more beneficial to focus on the books that are actually getting a response. Because people basically, and I'm going to give you like a perspective that's actually going to help you. If you get a 1-star review, that is someone giving you their opinion. It doesn't matter if you agree with their opinion or not. I got 1-star reviews. Someone gave me a 1-star review on all of my books. I started a vlog, you know. I'm going to get my perspective and my point across. I'm not just going to let this thing stain and ruin me, but I'm going to learn from it. I'm going to grow from the experience, and I'm going to figure out what the fuck is going on, you know? Instead of it being kind of like, oh, ignore what these people think, and, oh, haters are going to hate, and everyone gets 1-star reviews. It's like a lot of you get 1-star reviews because your books are trash. And I get it, you know? I get it. I understand. It's trash. And it's okay. You know, Amazon is a very low barrier to entry. In fact, how did I start using it? I started using Amazon. A friend that I had, she made a book for her boyfriend on Amazon before we met. And, you know, she told me that's what she did, you know. She made her boyfriend, I mean, it was like, I'm remembering like bits and pieces of it. I'm not like, this wasn't like an ongoing thing. This is like one fucking moment inside the car and shit. And then I told her I wanted to be an author, and my plans of kind of like leaving to pursue that goal. And she's like, oh, well, we can't date now, but we could still be friends. It's like, if you're going to stay in college, then like, you could have had it, man, but like, who knows what's gonna happen to you now? And I totally respect that energy. I respect that with like, you gotta allow women to feel that way and have that energy. So I think that's overall the thing with sales too. I'll connect that to sales and make it relevant instead of making it awkward and a weird fucking tangent. So basically, she told me that her boyfriend had a book, and then she got the book published for him on Amazon KDP. So she put me on the Amazon KDP and told me like, yo, it's easy as fuck. And so it's a super low barrier entry. But with that shit though, you gotta allow women to have that kind of energy, especially like in that specific relationship that I had, because you never know when someone's gonna come around to you. You never know when someone's going to have time for you, and you never really know how someone feels about you as well. So, why? People are constantly developing their perspective of you. People are constantly forming an opinion of you. So, first impressions are very important because you may never see that person again. But first impressions are memorable. If this is someone that grows and develops a relationship with you, and you have the emotional discipline and maturity to nurture and maintain long-term relationships. Some people maintain long-term relationships that are either very unhealthy or very toxic, and the goal is to have long-term relationships that are not sexual, that you don't need these people for anything and they don't need you for anything specifically, but you help each other so much. And in you finding your value, them finding their value, you can create magic together. But when you're expecting people to drop everything that they're doing to read one of the oldest forms of information and entertainment, like there's so many things that have outaged and, I mean, not outaged, but I guess evolved past the book, that YouTube is great, man. Movies are great. TV is great. It's cool that. But these were books, once upon a time. That was the activity of what was going on in your imagination, was the movie, was the book. To still have that stimulation inside your mind is very important. Even audiobooks is fucking cool and shit like that. But the actual experience of sitting down and imagining for yourself what is happening on the page, that is not something that many people do or can do. Some people have very negative experience with books. Some people have amazing experience with books in zero time. So what's worked for me, I can't say what works. I can't say what other people do because I don't know. And again, I'm still learning. I'm still growing. But I have a fairly, unless you really piss me off and then I'll just block you. But I have a fairly open door policy, I don't follow or some shit like that. But even then, I don't care. I'm not even really off the social media shit like that, to be for real. That I've met some amazing, great people on social media that I feel are great. But I've also met some really terrible people that have completely ruined my perspective of people. And I've met some people that have completely redefined my perspective in people. So I treat people in a case by case. With that, I can't generalize. I can't paintbrush. I can't say all readers this or the market that, or because I don't finger point. I problem solve. I don't emulate, I innovate. I don't get stuck on the shit, because I'm a fucking best-selling author. I'm a professional. This is literally my life and what I do. And I was thinking about this last night, that the words aren't pouring through me because the money is flowing. The money flows because the words were pouring through me. That's purposeful. I'm doing this because I reached a point in my personal life where I could not imagine going on if I was not doing this. And the life I would have had, the life I had, not the life I would have had, but the life that I was living at that point in time, was killing me. And the expectations that people had for me, and the pressure that I felt of becoming this lawyer or becoming this biomedical engineer and fulfilling the destiny of making your parents proud but never being happy. And I wanted to be happy, man. I wanted to be joyful. I knew that happiness is temporary and fleeting, You get happiness in moments. I didn't really need happiness all the time. I needed joy eternally. My anthropology professor told me that was her name. I wish I could remember her last name. I want to say Lovefield, but I feel that kind of slid out a little easily for me to be far away from what her name was. But her name was Joy. She's an anthropology professor at Kent State University, and she just gave that, Now it just stuck with me. That my parents named me Joy because happiness is temporary, but joy is eternal and internal, And that's just never fucking left me. I don't remember any. I remember things in anthropology class that she taught and shit like that, but I can't like really fucking identify a lot of the shit that she said beyond that. It's gonna be like this video for some people because I'm just kind of bouncing and trying to create this for you as it comes. But my other video was 50 minutes, so this might take like a little bit. But you're getting jewels along the way, hopefully having a good time. But the specific idea of this video, now that I got to this point, and people are just like, what the fuck is the point of this? Like, it's been 15 minutes and 40 seconds of my goddamn time, man. What's going on? I wanted to discuss the topic of that, but get back to the sense that, hey, this is a very low barrier to entry. So, while you might be thinking that you need to be making thousands of dollars to be successful in KDP, or that people are making thousands upon thousands of dollars in KDP, and I'm pretty sure there are, for sure. But if you look at the numbers and you look at the statistics, like, not a lot of people are. The top 1% on KDP, which means 99% people don't do this. You can keep in mind that it might be $1 or a few dollars less than this as well. That's a possibility. A few hundred less, and that's pretty good. But only the top 1% make $1,000 out of 33 million books published. So, while you think that there's a lot of competition, and while you think that the market is oversaturated, simply because there are a lot of books does not mean that there are a lot of good books. And with the innovation of today, what makes it somewhat difficult is that you have a lot of people that pay for very expensive book covers so that their book gets picked. And me, look at me. Don't look at their books. Don't look at my book. Look at my book. And that's it. They got a good cover. And that was the last good thing about that book. And it's a shame, It really is. People put a lot of money into this. And, that's critical, If you're doing this for the money, as I am beginning to do, you definitely have to put money in. Even something as simple as just doing BookBub, you'll blow up. I haven't done that yet. That's going to be one of my experiments. That's part of this too, is doing an experiment. My experiment, if you have not kind of caught it what I just said, is 33 million books published on Amazon. My goal is to reach that top 1% of authors making $1,000 a month. Because at the point that we're kind of at, I have a lawn care business that's like pulling in a little bit when the season's good, but I'll be like another extra fucking $1,000 a month, $1,000 plus a month. I'm giving shit away for free, man. Like, what the fuck? I gave up on I gave up on KDP, like for real. Like, if y'all want to know why I'm doing so well and why I'm so positive and happy and working so hard with this shit, is that I also use Ngram Spark, So I got a great book that is published wide across the fucking market. And it's a beautiful fucking thing, for real. I gotta update that shit, because I got some notification from Ngram Spark about something. It was a huge book. It's a huge book. So I have to update something in the pricing or whatever. But that's not that big of a deal to fix. But so I reached the point with Amazon, and I realized rather recently, I would say it's been a year since I somewhat came up with this idea and this expression of reality. But it was rather recently that I really had the numbers for it, that I knew I was losing money using Amazon. And I had done facts and figures for how much money I could make selling books and whatnot. And then over the summer with COVID and shit like that, being home, having more time to myself, being with my son, having more time to focus on my career the way that I'm doing, I started selling my books myself. And I literally made more money than I had ever made ever before in my fucking lifetime. It took a lot of the old school guerrilla techniques. It was very uncomfortable asking people sometimes. At that point in time, not really. But after being rejected so many times for books, you approach things a lot differently. So instead of asking people if they read, ask people if they know any readers or things like. Because the overall focus needs to be people reading in general. Let me finish the first thought before I get to the TBR thing. Let me write that down. TBR list. I'm going to get back to it. I wrote it down. I'll put a star next to it. Hopefully I get back to it. Hopefully now. But I was losing so much money on Amazon that I was already at the point that I could have been making about 5K to 7K a month. Like at least like a steady 3 to 4K a month if I wasn't using Amazon. I was selling a lot of books. I'm a fucking bestseller. I put a lot of fucking numbers on the board. And I get it. Amazon came around doing books for 99 cents and shit like that. And I kind of should have like been a fuck you from the get-go that like, hey, you're probably not going to fucking make a lot doing this. But what Amazon also empowers, because I don't blame Amazon for anything. I'm very proud of Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos is just a good overall story for me. Maybe not in his later life of being like who he is today, but I would say in what the building process is a lot different than the maintenance process. And then the maintenance process is a lot different than the innovation process. And then the innovation process is very different from the critique and editing process. It's cyclical. So simply because someone is good at working very hard for very little money, which is essentially owning a business, at the American delusion rather than the American dream, it doesn't mean that that person has like the results that they really intended to have. And once it scales to such a level that to think that Jeff Bezos himself is controlling all these things, the reality is that there's just a series of taskmasters who are useless. But the sad thing is that the taskmasters have to get paid. And the manipulation of the taskmasters doesn't just work because you have to realize the boss is also an employee. The boss works for the customers. The employees work for the boss. And the task managers work for their egos. So just as the task managers manipulate the poor workers, the task managers also manipulate the bosses into paying them more. I'm organizing these people. I'm bringing all these skills to the table. I deserve a cut. So when you look at how you get paid on, I would say on KDP or fucking Acorns, either fucking any fucking service that you're using, once you realize how much an IBSN really costs, IBSN costs more than most of you guys make in a year on books. I know that because I've been that person that couldn't even afford to buy an IBSN. It's about it's like either 100. I buy it like in bulk now, so I don't like. I think it's like 125. I want to say per IBSN, and for every book that you publish, you need, I would say, about 2 to 3 IBSNs per book. If not like even 5, depending how you're publishing and how many like different platforms, different things you're doing now, especially with the hardcover, the ebooks, and if you want a multi-platform, like it's just a lot of options. I would say at least like 2 to 3 per book would be solid, but you're still looking at, what is that, like $375 right there, and then you may never sell that. You may never make that money back in your lifetime. That's why a lot of people, I can't give you all my secrets in one video, but that's why people make one book a year or some shit, because they're saving, like, they're limiting themselves with the perspective of money because they're saving up so much money to publish instead of just publishing to make money. It's the employee mindset. And again, if you want this to be a business, you got to think like a business. A business sells products. Another thing I would note on, Because the point of this experiment that I'm going to do is that the money has to come from selling books. I can make money in other means and methods in my own life, but as far as what we're talking about here on the writing vlog, on the Multicultural Writers Collective, we're talking about making this money off of books, making $1,000 in a month off of books. I may not only use KDP. I like what I have written for myself are a lot of different guidelines. So book events are fair game. Selling books myself is fair game. Giving books away for free and using Knip is fair game. And then normal sales on Amazon or whatever is also fair game. I just gotta sell a fucking book. Someone's gotta buy the fucking book. I gotta make $1,000 off of it. And that's it. I don't care how the $1,000. I'm not limiting myself in how the $1,000 fucking comes. You know, and then hopefully we can juggle and pull it off for a couple of months or so, or the whole year would be great. It would be nice because we're growing past that point. Maybe we start at 1K, move to 10K, and try to go to like 100K in a month. I don't know. I really fucking don't. Shit would be nice. I'll take 100K a year. Fuck. Damn, 100K a year off of books would be like, that'd be solid. That's solid right there, honestly. What really, that gets back to a point too, is what really fucked me up early on in my career is that I probably could have been at that point a lot earlier if I was thinking like that. But I thought I was going to be a millionaire in a year. Like, no bullshit. You know, it's like, it's fucking crazy, I know. And it obviously didn't happen, or else I wouldn't be making a fucking... Anyone who's using YouTube is not like a fucking millionaire. I'll be like real with you. They might be like a paper millionaire, but like I really doubt that they're like actually a millionaire if they're like on YouTube. I'm just being real as fuck with you. It's being like real. I would imagine that they're like earning a modest living doing YouTube. I imagine that they're making a great life for themselves, but like I really doubt it. You know, that's the major thing too. Is like the social media shit is like it's all bullshit. It really is. People are selling services. You know, people make like, and it kind of like makes me like. Sorry about that. You make one book, 2 books, you sold a couple copies, you did all this research about how to make money off of books, but you never applied any of it. You don't got the money to apply any of it. Now you want to teach people how to sell books. I see this shit all fucking time. What else do I see? You made a book. It was alright. You found someone to make covers for relatively cheap. And you found someone who edits because they're too stupid to get paid up front and to get paid royalties. So you only pay them in equity. You don't offer promotions or advertising. And now you want to start a publishing company. The point of being a self-published author is not being a publishing company. The point of being an independent author is not being a publishing company. Because I'll be real as fuck. One of these, I have a list of experiments that I really want to try. One of these experiments is me querying a book and trying to work with a fucking major publishing company or something like that. Do I feel like I'm already at that point? I feel like I've been at that point. But I came in with like an utter refusal to do that. I told you again, like I thought I was gonna be a millionaire in a year, just like manifestation. And I was just like, I don't want anyone talking about my books. I don't want any feedback. But you need the feedback to grow. You may never get that feedback again. Because what you truly seek as an author isn't the money. What you truly seek as an author is to be understood, to entertain, or to elucidate. But to hear about your writing, to not be defined by your basketball ability or how well you cook or how well you dress, but to be defined by how well that you write and how well you tell a story. And there's just so many elements about publications that has nothing to fucking do with that whatsoever. And it's what you desire, and it's what you want more than anything. And that's why joining a traditional publishing company would probably be nice to some degree. Would be because it's the only time you're ever going to get that feedback. People don't leave reviews like that. You can even like look at some giant look at the like fucking Harry Potter or some shit like that. Look at Dan Brown or like Dean Koontz and shit like that. Like look at the top fucking authors of all times. Then look at their book reviews. Completely fucking not comparative to how many books they sold. The amount of reviews that these people have is completely fucking irrelevant. Look at how many 1-star reviews they have. Look how many 2-star fucking reviews. It's completely fucking irrelevant how many copies of books this shit is sold. So, one of the main reasons people don't make any fucking money is, I touched on this at the beginning, but I'm going to hit it on the head and fucking nail right now as we get back to the TBR list. I didn't even have to look at it. I remembered the TBR list. Is they have a shitty fucking mentality. Coming into this industry very early on, I had a friend who really helped me like elevate and get to this point. Well, he took a different path. He was serious and graduated and got a fucking career, and he worked for that. He clawed for that. Like, he did not have the fucking option and liability to fucking do that shit. Like, there was no safety net for him. So he had to fucking go out there and fucking breach the nets and, conquer that world and conquer that element of life. But I know he was stuck to writing. I know he wishes he would have stuck to writing. Because he was already in a position that I was in, and he inspired me to take the jump that I took, quite honestly. Because he was already on that pathway. And one day I'll go back to school and I'll get my degree. But for now, I'm doing this. And my mindset was about the millions of dollars. But at the heart of it and core of it, I wanted to make the millions of dollars with artistic integrity. I wanted to make the millions of dollars writing amazing books that people loved. I wanted to make the $1 million my way. Like Frank Sinatra said, I did it my way. Your way sucks. My way sucks. If you're not selling any books, your ideas about how to sell a book are wrong. And the moment you can accept that, you'll get better. A lot of people suck because, one, they don't take feedback, and feedback is crucial. Again, like, that's the life soul of this thing. Even if someone hates it, writers say, rip me apart. Like, don't be afraid to tell me. Like, tell me any. Some people are just afraid to tell you how fucking good you are, man. And that's really it. Like, people struggle to tell me how talented I am at this. As I said in like my other video, reasons why people are ignoring you on social media, I don't think I mentioned people ignore you because they legitimately are just fucking intimidated by your ethic. They're just fucking intimidated by what you do. They're insecure, and it's not like you're doing anything. It's like being a black guy at the ATM waiting for your turn, and the other person's fumbling with their shit. They're scared of you. It's fucking late at night. They're thinking you're about to take, like, their fucking some shit like that. You know, they're thinking you're about to take them. You know, and they're fantasizing about this shit. And you're just sitting there waiting to fucking get your money, so you can get the fuck away from this crazy person and continue on with your day before you end up in some shit with this crazy ass fucking white person. You know? It's like that. The less that you are caught up on those false delusions and those false illusions, the more you make way for how things actually work. Your way sucks. My way sucks. Read a book about how to sell a book. You know? Do that for a few months, and you'll just, that's what I did. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm just studying, man. I'm studying like fucking crazy. Like, basically what happened was, I was a triple major in college, so I was already a really smart guy. And I wanted a challenge, so I took on 3 majors because I didn't want to be fucking bored. Probably should have just took one and got the fuck out of college, but instead I learned more than everybody else. But I did not get any proof of my knowledge, and that really fucking is irritating when you know things that you can't prove that you know, because people are like, where's your college degree? And you're like, I didn't finish. I didn't walk across the stage. I didn't do my last year. And they're like, oh, I guess I'm better than you then. And you're like, I think you just got a degree. I'm like, no, I'm better than you now. It's cool, man. Cool, man. Like, if that's all you got, then, like, you ain't got much. Hey, some people take degrees, they do great things, they go on with it, blah, 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 blah. You know, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. I'm not hating on anybody with a degree, that's a beautiful thing. But the people are like that. Those are the people that will never tell you how great you are, because they need to feel better than you. You know, sometimes you're not making money because people will take the free book that you give them to give Amazon $18.99 a month for fucking Kindle Unlimited, because they refuse to buy your book at full price. Your book can be 99 cents. Your book can be $1.99. They expect you to give them your book for free. That's just it. That's just reality of it. Most people don't make money because the people that you're dealing with expect they expect this shit for you. You have no boundaries. You have no dignity. You have no integrity. You're begging people to read your shit. You're begging people to look at you. You're begging people to like your shit on social, and then you fucking temper tantrum about it like I did, because you feel as if you're not getting the due credit or the whatever that you deserve. So start a fucking vlog or some shit so one person looks at you and goes like, I think he's a swell guy. And then the 20 people that tell you, say you're a fucking bastard and you should kill yourself, get fucking dicks now, you know? Fuck those 20 niggas that be like, fucking kill yourself, get lost in the fucking woods. You got one motherfucker that rides hard for you. And that was when I became a bestseller. That was when I started making fucking money. That was like 2019. So after 2018, I sold nothing. But I had been building a lot of experience. I've been doing a lot of research. And I was starting a lot of businesses at that time that gave me more insight to how businesses work and how expenses and return on investments work. And that books are assets. You're creating assets. So the profit and value that you create in your book is in the quality of the asset that you created. If you created a bullshit NFT book, you're not going to make any money on it. If you made a cryptocurrency book, you know, and that's just to relevize the substance and the fungibility of your book, it's completely non-fungible. So the platform that people utilize, while your book might be interesting, your book is not like being on Audible right now is huge. I'm not on Audible. I'm trying to get on YouTube, but even being on YouTube, like there's like low barrier to entry, but there's a high barrier of mastery, and the same thing with Amazon KDP. That you can release a crypto book, it's better than the NFT. It makes you feel special and better than everybody else because you're part of it, and that's essentially publishing your first half decent fucking 3-star book. And then you can call everyone who gave it a 5-star amazing, and everyone who gave it a 1-star or 2-star review a fucking dick in a bag. And you continue on your life making 3-star fucking books because you refuse to look at the people that give you 1-star reviews and 2-star reviews as the honest feedback that you need to fucking improve. And it's hard to take. First time I got a 2-star review, I think I brought this up more than once, but I do not know yet. People are gonna repeat this shit to me one day. I swear to God. It was for the Crown of Nadia, and it had nothing to fucking do with the book itself. They gave me a 2-star review because the book did not have an ebook version. It was paperback only. 2 stars. I was mad as fuck. The book, it was the only review on the book. It felt like some shit that someone saw it, they were like, fuck you, and they just did that shit just to have something to fucking say. The ebook came out, I published with Ingram Spark. I didn't publish with Amazon. So the ebook was coming out a couple days later, once the deals went through and shit like that. That's one thing. I'm sure it takes a little bit longer than Amazon because it posts on so many platforms and sites. The ebook version was available on Barnes & Noble, and if they would have looked, if they would have given me the respect that I deserved, they would have Google searched the book like a normal fucking person. They would have Google searched my name, and they would have saw that I'm on fucking Google. They would have saw that I have an entire fucking Google page. The whole page is me. Whole first page of my fucking name on Google is me. Nobody else. And that took work. It took some growth, whatever. But it's nice to own my Google page, for real. I'm just talking about when you type Daryl Omar in, me. Sometimes my picture even pops up. Most times it's just my books, though. But they didn't do that. They looked at Amazon, they saw the book, and they went, yeah, I'm going to give this a 2-star review because I can't afford it. Albeit the book was $35. It was published in hardcover only for whatever reason, and I thought it was going to be cool at the time. It wasn't. That was on me. It's my fault. Whatever. I don't give a shit. Fucking write it down, motherfucker, and you just keep going. Just keep fucking going. That's how I feel. That's how I really feel, honestly. That's how I really fucking feel, honestly. But 2-star review. Last week, For the Crown of Nadia, #1 fucking bestseller. Same book. 2-star review upon release. Less than a year later, it would be a year on December 1st. So close to a year later, #1 bestseller. Who knew? 100 or something, 100 copies sold. Can you imagine if I got $20 per each copy that just sold last week on KDP and KDP Select? The shit that they're doing. I get that the exposure is very important. The exposure is supposed to snowball you into getting more sales, but I did a book event, and this is it because I'm right at that point, maybe under 50 minutes at this point, thank God. I went to a book event, Maplewood Funk Fest, Mape Soap Funk Fest, I believe, actually, and sold 10 books. I made more selling 10 books myself than I made selling hundreds of books for people to use at Amazon Kindle. So, experiments on. I'm gonna see what I can do. Hopefully, you learned something from this video. If you didn't, then I apologize for rambling. I will get better at YouTube videos. For now, this is it. Thank you. Have a great day.